The koala, or otherwise known as Phascolarctos cinereus, also called koala bear, is a marsupial of the east and south coasts of Australia, classified in the family Phascolarctidae, suborder Vombatiformes. The koala is about 60 to 85 centimeters or 24 to 33 inches long and weighs up to 14 kilograms or 31 pounds in the southern part of its range, Victoria and South Australia, but only about half that of subtropical Queensland north. Virtually tailless, the body is solid and grey with a pale yellow or cream breast and spotting on the rump. The broad face has a broad, rounded, leathery nose, tiny yellow eyes, and large fluffy ears. The feet are solid and clawed, the two inner toes of the front paws and the innermost toe of the hind paws are opposed for gripping. Due to the animal's superficial resemblance to a small bear, the koala is sometimes, albeit incorrectly, called a koala. The koala feeds very selectively on the leaves of certain eucalyptus trees. Generally solitary, individuals move through a home range of more than a dozen trees, preferring one over the other. When koalas become too numerous in a limited area, they defoliate preferred eucalyptus trees and rapidly decline as they cannot even live on other closely related tree species. To aid in the daily digestion of up to 1.3 kilograms, 3 pounds, of leaves, the koala has an intestinal sac, cecum, about 2 meters long, where symbiotic bacteria break down tannins and other toxic substances and complexes that are found in abundance in available eucalyptus. However, this diet is relatively low in nutrients and provides the koala with little replacement energy. Hence, the animal spends many hours simply sitting or sleeping in tree forks, exposed to the elements, but insulated by thick fur. Although koalas are mostly peaceful, they emit a low, hollow growl. The koala is the only member of the Phascolarctidae family. Unlike other tree opossums, its pouch opens backward. Births are solitary and occur after a gestation period of 34 to 36 days. The newborn baby, named Joey, first sticks his head out of the pouch when he is about 5 months old. Then, for up to 6 weeks, he is weaned on a soupy pre-digested eucalyptus called porridge, rinsed directly from the mother's anus. Pap is obtained from the appendix. After weaning, the young come entirely out of the pouch and cling to the mother's back until she is almost a year old. A koala can live for about 15 years in the wild, a little longer in captivity. Studies suggest 5 distinct populations of koalas began to differentiate between 300,000 and 430,000 years ago. Previously killed in large numbers for their fur, particularly in the 1920s and 1930s, the number of koalas fell from several million to a few hundred thousand, reflecting the genetic diversity of the species and that of 4 of the 5 individual populations that made up the species. Significantly reduced susceptibility to inbreeding. In the southern part of their range, koalas have disappeared, except for a single genetically diverse population in Gippsland, Victoria. Some were relocated to small offshore islands, including Phillip Island, where they thrived so well that these koalas were used to repopulate much of the original range in Victoria and southern New South Wales. A few koalas were also introduced to Kangaroo Island during the same period, and later, in the 1950s and 1960s, other animals were introduced to several different South Australian coastal habitats. Although koala populations and subpopulations are once again widespread, they are now scattered and separated by urban areas and farmland, making them locally threatened. Another problem is the infection of many populations with chlamydia, rendering females sterile. The International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, IUCN, has classified the koala as an endangered species since 2016. The number of species declined by almost 28% between 1984 and 2012, mainly due to habitat loss and fragmentation, which makes the animal more vulnerable to collisions with vehicles and canine predation. Devastating droughts and bushfires in the late 2010s also contributed to declining koala numbers, reducing total numbers by a further 30% between 2018 and 2021. As temperatures rise and the drying effects of climate change become worse,